And I remember in 1994 when I published a book, I was invited to a book fair in Ohio. It was like a little college town. I thought, well, what is this about? And I got there were hundreds of people and publishers and books all over the place. And they were giving the books away or selling them for $1. People were taking pictures with authors. And it was so exciting. And I've always wanted to do something like that. So Ari, where's Ari? Somewhere around here.
Right here.
Yeah, all right. So,
a book for me?
Ari, who's got many, many books. I don't even want to count the numbers, but it's probably over a dozen when I say that. Am I right, Ari?
Sure, Rob.
Yeah, whatever. He's in the bagel business, so a dozen actually means he provided us with 14 is really. So Ari and I talked about it and said, well, let's do it. And let's do it before Christmas. And let's do it here as part of Leaders Connect, which is our 25th year. Yay! Yay. And so here we are. And we put it together. And I want to thank Megan, who's behind me here. Megan.
She just stepped out.
There's Megan. And Megan has really made this happen. She's pulled a lot of it together. Is Sierra in here now, too?
Oh, there's back there.
Okay, Sarah. Thanks, Sierra. Sierra manages with the events at the Roadhouse. Is that mainly it? Yeah, pretty much it. And if you want to get some food for the holidays at the Roadhouse, that's your thing, right? People can cater. The Roadhouse caters now separately than Zingerman's deli, so lots of choices. I guess I want to thank also our sponsors. And I'm probably not going to remember them all, but Mike Cole. Yeah, Mike's there. Mike is part of Bank of Ann Arbor. And Bank of Ann Arbor has been one of our first sponsors. It has been following for almost 20 of those years. And they do a lot of great things in town, as you know, including the Thursday, what do you call it, the summer?
Sonic Lunch.
Sonic Lunch. How many of you have been to a Sonic Lunch? Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, those of you that don't have any eardrums left because you were like Rich, listening to that loud music in the 70s and 80s. And that's right. Yeah, that's right. Chris Singh. Chris is.
She's back there, yeah.
Chris is. Okay, Chris, there you go. And the lights are in my eyes here from being so wonderfully photographed. Another sponsor is Chris is with Raymond, which is a CPA firm, and all through the area.
And Christy.
And
Christy right here.
Oh, Christy, all right, hi Christy. So they, if you have, it's getting to be tax season, so check them out. They have a few more weeks so that they can still have a real life, and then they will go underground for January through April, right? And then we have Bill Hall's over here, and Bill is videographer. He's going to do today. He's done all these videographies. So we have 20-some years of videos on my YouTube channel, Leaders Connect or Ron Pasick, and you can access these, and Bill has done the last few years of those. And Bill is going to also do interviews with the authors today. So we're going to just peel them off. They're going to go out and do a few minute interviews. Dunry, I can't see again. Dunry Browning is going to interview them. There she is. And those will also we'll put them on the website next week on my website. I'm on Leaders Connect. Dr. Rob, which hopefully all of you receive. If you don't, let me know. We'll get it out to you. And then those also will be able to go up on their websites and their LinkedIn profiles and all that. So it should be a really great thing. And Dunry's going to interview because the hardest thing is when you just are looking at a camera and they say, talk about your book. And you're like talking to a camera. That is impossible. So she's going to be able to talk to Dunry in that nice smiling, greedy face. I want to also say Diane Durantz is out here. Diane, actually, when we first started this, we did it at the IT Zone. It was like 25 years ago. Diane was the head of that at that point. And so help get this off the ground. Let's see, is anybody here from, what are the other ones I'm missing?
Office Evolution.
Office, okay, you guys are here. There you are. All right. Office Evolution, which is on State Street in Eisenhower, and they have space for people who want smaller space for temporary time, and also just working space day to day, I guess.
Yep, and private offices.
Yes. All right. So it's another sponsor. I guess we got all the real estate company. Cerno Real Estate Company also, which is now renting out different spaces around the area. Really great firm. If you need space for your business, that's the place to go. So thank you all for those sponsors. Let's give them a great hand. And of course, Zingerman. Zingerman has been a great support and sponsor through all these years. So can I just have the authors come up real quick? Let's come on up here. All right, so John and I have been buddies. A lot of these people have been friends for many, many years. Bill, are we okay for where we're standing here? I guess so. So I'm going to start out with Mike to my left here. Come on up, Mike. Mike Samuelson and I have been friends for 40 years because our sons, we got to be friends because our sons played baseball together. And both of them went on to major league careers that lasted for years and years. You may know them from their batting titles, baseball cards. But Mike and I stayed friends, and Mike got going on this project, which turned out to be a beautiful photography book. And Mike has had many careers, but the latest one is being an expert photographer. So Mike, can you tell us about the book just for, again, take a minute, otherwise you're going to get bopped in the head.
Yeah, I don't want to get bopped in the head. So this is a book
Mike, a
on
little
Michael,
Name who you are, name of the book.
Michael Samuelson. The name of the book is Iconic Ann Arbor. It's 64 photos, history, people's reactions to my
There you go.
So I'm very shy when it comes to these things. Anyhow, so the book is a feature of my love affair with the city of Ann Arbor and the University of Michigan. Very proud of the fact that it's endorsed by Larry Carr, Mary Sue Coleman, President Emerita of the University of Michigan, and a number of other notables from the community. So it's been my honor to represent who these folks are in this book. And by the way, it's a 15% discount for Leaders Connect. So that's an extra bonus, and I'm under a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, let's give Mike a hand. Of all the books here, including my own, I think Mike's might be the best for Christmas gifts, because especially for anybody who's been associated with Ann Arbor, like people who were your kids, maybe who left and probably live in Chicago or LA or one of those places. It's really all about Ann Arbor. It's not the University of Michigan, it's all of Ann Arbor. So thank you, Mike. Lydia, come on up. Lydia, you want to introduce yourself?
Be happy to, yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lydia Michael. I am the author of Brand Love, Building Strong Consumer Brand Connections. And the book talks about how the most successful companies and organizations evoke the emotions of their customers by tapping into their hearts and minds. And on a day-to-day, I run Blended Collective, which is a multicultural marketing and brand consultancy. So if you'd love to learn more, I am located right here in the corner. Thank you.
Andy? Andy, I just met a few weeks ago and he told me he had a book, so I sounded very excited. He sent it to me and I thought it was interesting. I'm going to become a CEO now. You know that, because I'm inspired by your book.
Well, I'm Andy Vasallo.
Close to your voice.
I'm Andy Vasallo. I wrote The Focus CEO. It's a book about leadership, and it can be applied to a corporation or a team or a school or any kind of anything with a team where you want, I think, better performance or increased efficiency. And the book's written in the style of like 1 Minute Manager, Who Moved My Cheese, so there's a story to it. It's a quick read, and I hope you enjoy it. Maybe get a couple points out of it that are useful. And I'm back in that corner. It is $10 for the book and $2 for $30.
You got me there. You want to mention where you work?
Sure. I work at GDI Infotech here in Ann Arbor, and we do IT transformation for businesses, as well as we outsource back office for startups and high growth firms.
And you may know Bushan Kulkarni, who's the owner. So I was going to use your book, but I can't because I'm not a focused CEO. I would be no, you don't need to make me focus. I would lose all my creativity. I'm the unfocused CEO. And see what's happening. It's still working, right? Yeah, but all right, nice to see you. Ferris, come on up. Give Andy a hand, yes. Ferris and I again have had a long time friendship, and I've been excited to have Ferris talk about his book. We've had a sad conversation over the past few days because Ferris has a lot of family he's lost in Palestine, and he and I, me as a Jew, he was a Palestinian, had a lot of conversations over the years and feel extremely sad about what is going on and are praying for some resolution. So, Ferris, you want to tell us about your book?
Thank you, Rob. Of course, I admire relationships, as you know that. So I have a couple of books. One is about resiliency. So it's a little bit about my personal journey and a little bit about resilient canvas I created during COVID for leaders and entrepreneurs to overcome their obstacles. And the other one's about building relationships through the power of 7 touches. And on a day-to-day basis, it's about building relationships and helping people find ways to connect with people in different ways rather than just one sales. In general, on a day-to-day basis, I run a small company called International Strategic Management. We do entrepreneurship and small business development. And we've done that in about 101 countries so far. We're based out of Detroit, and we've done a few things here in Ann Arbor and Michigan. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Ferris. John, it's your turn.
Thank you, Rob. I'm John Baldoni. I've written a bunch of books. A lot of them are in the corner over there. And you know what? My wife will thank you because they're all free. So please take them. I'm going to use my topic is grace. I've written 3 books on the topic. My last book is called Grace Under Pressure. And I want to give a shout out to 2 people. First is Rob. I've known Rob for forever. And I think I was in one of the original Connect groups 25 years ago. And what Rob has done is build community. That's why we're all here. And we know a lot of people over here. And the second person I want to call out is Ari Weinswijk in the back. And
Right
you
here.
all know Ari.
Ari's right here.
There he is. Ari is, we all know him from his food and business and writing and all that. But Ari's real passion, I think, is he's actually a philosopher. And if you don't get his newsletter, please do, because every week I read it and I always learn something. So, and the other thing that Ari has done with Zingerman's is build a community. And that's really what we're all striving for in these times of crisis, is community. So get a head start on community, books in the back, all free. Thank you.
Merci. Bonjour, I am Sarah Bernhardt. I'm here selling Carol Danitz's book today, Louder Than Thunder, which is based on a riddle. What is louder than thunder? Is highly charged as lightning and more powerful than the fierce north wind. She is selling the book to raise money for a musical movie, which is in pre-production, called Bernhardt on Broadway, about me. And so everything that is sold goes towards the $500,000 we need to raise for the movie. And I leave you with this message, a little ditty from the show. Come when David slew Goliath, come when reason was king. Come when Eiffel built his tower, when Orville said to Wilbur, what should we call this thing? Come when Christa, fair Columbus, proves the world wasn't flat. Against all odds, they're going to call me top hat. Merci.
Carol, what you don't know is that 16 years ago, when I was only about 10, I had Barbara Streisand up here.
Really?
Yeah, she was here, and she sang people who love people. And she's
So I'm
now,
not the first to sing to the
no, and she has written now a 900+ page book about her life, so I'm expecting 1,000 pages from you soon. Thank you.
Right now it's just 15 songs and a movie script.
Beautiful. So talk to her more about her book and also about her dreams for a musical. musical movement. So Rich, you want to go next? I don't think you could follow that, man.
No, I don't want to follow that. Yeah, let's sing a little ditty. There we go. I would just like to shout out to Rob for the community you've created. Been a part of it for a long, long time.
Sure.
And books is what brought us together.
Yes.
To Ari, you've been a mentor to me for the entire history of Menlo. And I have 2 books here, Joy Inc. and Chief Joy Officer, about building intentionally joyful cultures within our company. And I would say studying at the feet of Ari over the years, I've learned so much. And one of the things Ari and I talk about is what a wonderful town Ann Arbor is for building the kind of companies we build. And Ari and I often talk about the terroir of our Ann Arbor, that there's something in the soil here that produces strong intentional cultural companies. And so delighted to be here. Sarah, leave your hand. Sarah's selling the books, and there's a little thing we do at Menlo when we've got a lot of books to sell. Sarah's job is, if she doesn't sell the books, she literally has to carry them in a backpack back to Menlo.
One at a time.
Yeah, and, well, actually all of them at a time. So she's in good shape, but help her out.
I just wanted to mention that when you get your books, it's kind of fun to have somebody take a photo of you. So think about that, and someday that may be a bit more valuable than the book.
That could be, yes.
You can get it signed and all that. Well, thanks, Rich. And Rich and I and Kathy McDonald have a project going, which you might reignite sometime, which is called Ann Arbor Leaders Read. And we pick a book, and we have, your book was one of them one year, and we have everybody read the book, and then we have a Leaders Connect session about the book. So we'll talk about it and work it. So thank you, Rich. Fritz, again. So Fritz, first of all, congratulations. Your former your team, I guess your love is doing pretty well this year. Yeah. Fritz is well known in the community as a consultant, but before that he had a little bit of a span at as a tight end or
Fullback.
Fullback. Ooh, yeah. So you were one of those guys that pounded the.
Yep. Beat my head a lot.
Beat the head so that Cam can run through it. Is that right? Yeah. All right. Well, Fritz, what tell us about your book?
So I'm an engineer at heart. Came to Michigan, got a chance to play for Bo Schembechler at Michigan, and then came back 7 years later from New York City as a consultant. And from my very first day when I was with Bo, I said, this is like nothing I've ever experienced before. Why is this so different? And one of the things I learned under Bo and studying in this 45-year study of leadership is that there's a foundation of greatness in each and every one of us, but we don't know what it is because we cannot see ourselves. And the joy that I got from Bo and he shared with me, our role in life is to take people places they cannot go by themselves. And so I've taken that to heart. And so the book, The Shift from Me to Team, is that each and every one of us think that we are team-oriented, family-oriented, community-oriented, and I just want to challenge you that you can go deeper. You can go deeper in being more team-oriented, family-oriented, and community-oriented. Our ego never leaves us. It's always there pulling on us. But I challenge you, the richness in life comes when we make that shift, and then we can tap into who we were really meant to be. It opens up avenues of who we really are meant to be as people. So I hope you have a chance to enjoy it.
Just pass it around. It's a great book. I really encourage you to read
I
it.
feel like we moved down the
You can read it, by the way, even if you're not that deep. You can get
Thanks.
it.
It's hard to well. I've learned from all of these authors, and most of them I've read stuff. Fridays, good morning. Just thank you all. Thanks for the kind words, John and Rich and Rob and everybody, and thank you for making it possible for us to be in Ann Arbor and to be in business. The books are all back there. Sierra's taking pictures up on the wall. I'll just say it's just my attempt to share what I've learned, a lot by screwing up, and our practices here to Many of you have many of them. The two newest things are the pamphlet on philosophy, which John was kind enough to plug. Philosophy, and it's something that, like so many of the things I write about, I would have said I knew nothing about philosophy until about 2 years ago, but of course I've learned we all know a lot about philosophy. We just, to Fritz's point, we don't know that we know about philosophy. So it's about that, and then the one before that is more about visioning and how we learned the process, how it changed our lives, how it changed Menlo's life, and really people all over the world through work that started in the terroir that we're in at Institute of Social Research, whatever, 2 miles from here, in the late 50s, 60s, and 70s with Ron Liffett. I'll just add that the books, as we do them, we're kind of off the grid, so farm to table. So we do all the design, we print them here in town, and we're really off. Somebody looked at Amazon history, it's more expensive on Amazon, so I like that. And then what I really want to do is plug a book that's not here today, and an author that's a friend of mine who's going to be here next week, which is Gareth Higgins. He's coming in from Belfast, from Ireland. His books actually are out there, but he's doing a talk right here on Tuesday night. His book is really about stories and the power of stories, and it's had a huge impact on me. And I've read a lot of books. So, and then on Wednesday during the day, he and I are going to co-teach a session at Zingerman all day, because I realized from his work that stories are just beliefs, which I wrote about, made manifest. And so we're going to do a thing that's called Beliefs About Stories and Stories About Beliefs, and it's about how the stories that we tell and the beliefs that we hold are shaping our lives. And you're hearing some good ones here. Now, get out of the way. You can, Rob.
I just was going through some of my older books, and I came across a letter that you wrote. This was in 1994, maybe, and it's in the book Awakening from the Deep Sleep. And you wrote a letter to your father who had passed away, and you had not known very well. So it's a very touching letter. I don't know if you must remember that, but
yes, I do remember it, and John saw it in the e-news and some of the others of you. I actually I didn't reference that letter, but I referenced some connections that came through him. It's a longer story. But
talk about doing some deep work. That was deep work.
But as Fritz said, there's always more to do, and it's part of why books are so great, is because they help, in my belief, carry us forward. So I'm going to get out of the way because there's all these other great people up here. But Lee Vetter works at our bakehouse, and like me, she's a history person. So
My name is Lee Vetter, and I've been at the bakehouse for a little over 6 years, and the books that I have today are 2 of the bakehouse's commercial books, and the first book, Zingerman's Bakehouse by Amy Emberling and Frank Carollo, managing partners of the bakehouse, was just rolling off the presses when I arrived at the bakehouse. And as Ari said, I am a history person. I am a historian, an art historian, and now culinary historian. And I do a lot of writing for the Bakehouse blog. And I'm one of the co-authors of the second Bakehouse book that just came out in October, called Celebrate Every Day. And it's just been a joy to be able to do research. I mean, I think of the 4 of us that worked on Celebrate Every Day, I probably had the most fun, because I got to do all the research and all of the history of all of the wonderful things that are, there's about 70, almost 80 recipes in that book, and we put it together during the pandemic, and I was on the marketing team, and we had some time to kill, so we decided we'd publish another book.
Yeah, I got two sons I'm gonna get those books for. Both
Great.
2 granddaughters who are bakers. So.
Yep, and I'm a baker as well, and so we put together this wonderful book. It's organized seasonally, and it's recipes to celebrate special occasions and holidays throughout the year. It's a very joyful book. The first book, Zingerman's Bakehouse, that Amy and Frank wrote, it's a wonderful read because it tells the whole history and story of the bakehouse and how it came to be and how it's evolved, and its 25-year history at that point. And then the Celebrate Every Day is just a fun sequel to that book. So,
thank you.
Hi, I'm Ken Fisher. For 30 years, it was my privilege to be the president of the oldest university-related performing arts presenting organization called UMS. We're 1 year older than Michigan football. They're Team 144, we're Team 145. And my role was to get out of the ivory tower of Burton Memorial Tower and into the communities of Southeast Michigan. And so management by walking around throughout Southeast Michigan. So my book has the privilege of being in the same row as Mike's, Rich's, Fritz's, then you turn the corner and you got Ari. Okay, so don't miss me down here at the end. $29.95 is the usual price. Today, it's $20. But there's also a lot of backstage stories about Wynton Marsalis, who wrote the foreword to the book. Leonard Bernstein, who's big in the news now because of Maestro, got a lot of backstage stories about him. Patrick Stewart, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I had him conduct the Michigan Marching Band in front of 110,000 people. The largest theater in the round in the United States, okay? If you're interested in any of that stuff, stop by. I'd love to see you. Thank you.
That's got some amazing stories in that book, as does Nikki's book, which is about a place that we might be familiar with.
We're actually
So
standing.
again, Nikki presented 20 years ago at Leaders Connect about her book, The End of Detroit, right? Yeah. And you're going to write a sequel of that, right?
I am. I will tell everybody about that. Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki Maynard, or Micheline Maynard.
Closer to the mouth,
Closer to the mouth. Is that better? Okay. So I'm Nikki Maynard, Micheline Maynard. The book that I have with me today is Satisfaction Guaranteed, which I always call an airplane book about Zingermans, because if you get on an airplane at Metro and fly to San Francisco or Seattle, you could probably finish it on the trip. But I'm incredibly indebted to Ari and Paul and all the managing partners and everyone at Zingerman's that talked to me for the book. The book was actually suggested by a literary agent in New York, and it is published by Scribner's, which some of you may know is Hemingway and Fitzgerald's publisher. And my editor is in charge of the estates for both of those famous authors. I was very honored to be a Michigan Notable Book for 2023, which is very exciting, the Library of Michigan, as you come up and there are authors from all over the state. And it's just so wonderful to see other writers in Michigan. I want to just quickly mention my book, The End of Detroit, came out 20 years ago. And in this digital world, I'm actually publishing a sequel to it on Substack. I'm not sure if you all know about Substack, but it's a publishing platform for authors. Some public figures use it. You subscribe, and you will receive the digital update to The End of Detroit. And last plug, during the UAW strike, I did a number of interviews with places like All Things Considered and Yahoo Finance and Paul W. Smith. And in December, which is today, is this December? I am going to be giving a presentation online for the 92nd Street Y in New York City on the past, present, and future of electric vehicles. So I'm sort of like Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, two sides, the food side and the auto industry side. And just one last note, my very cool sign over there was created by the sign artist for WWOZ Radio in New Orleans. I spent the last year in New Orleans, and I can't tell you how many people in New Orleans have connections to Ann Arbor and especially love Zingerman's. So I'm very happy to be home and very happy to see everyone today.
I would recommend that when you're coming, Kate, come on up. And Kate's got a little bit different type book. It's one that I love because I love to read young adult novels. And you have written your first, and it's published, and it's very exciting. It's got a big press, and so maybe you can tell us about it.
Oh, sure, thank you. Yeah, I know everybody here writes about leadership, so I'm kind of like an add-on.
No. You're the star.
Yeah, my book is young adult fantasy, and I think it's perfect for teen girls. If you want a holiday gift, for teen girls or your female friends, I mean, they are great for teen girls and also for women of all age because it features very strong female characters and also very powerful female friendships. So I think it would be a great read for teenage girls and women.
Who published it?
It's Unisphere. It's owned by Sterling House, which is the publishing arm of Barnes and Noble.
So, Kate, thank you. And Kate, just to tell a story, how young, like, like how, when you say young teenagers, like 10 or 15 or?
Like 14 and above. Yeah.
What if I have a 9-year-old granddaughter who's going on 14? Would that work?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's there's no inappropriate.
Oh, good. There's no inappropriate content.
14 girls.
But I also want to say that you've accomplished something very special because it's your first book and it's published by a very prestigious publishing firm. That is not easy to do, so congratulations
Oh,
on it.
thank you. Especially, English is not my mother language, so I spent, so it's especially Chinese. Yeah, so I came here for graduate school and I see at 20. And I think I started learning to write in English like when I was 28.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Yeah,
since
I
you're
could
only
speak
29
English,
now.
but writing English, fiction is very different from just speaking English or just writing an essay or whatever. Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment. I hope it's going to be coming out in Chinese too, I would assume.
Okay, I hope they will sell Chinese rights too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe is it different Taiwan and mainland China?
Oh yeah, they speak Mandarin too in Taiwan, so.
All right. Well, thank you. So we're going to open this affair up again, and we hope everybody will. I think you've already got your Christmas gift list for this year and maybe next. I've got my eyes on like everybody's book. The cookbook is going to be great for my granddaughters. So anyway. I'm wearing my NASA hat, and I just want to make one very special announcement. This is a surprise. Thomas Sabukin, who was presented here before, was a professor at the University of Michigan School of Engineering. He went on to be the chief project manager, the chief guy that got the James Webb Telescope into the sky. And the James Webb Telescope has revolutionized astronomy and changed everything about how we think about the world and ourselves. That song about we are stardust, I think it was Jefferson Airplane. It's true, we are stardust. And the big news is that we have arranged for Thomas to be here next week, next Friday. And he's going to be here, and he's going to be presenting on what experience it's been of developing that project, what they've learned, and what he's learned individually. He's an amazing guy. When this comes out, I would sign up right away because we have limited seating and I know it's going to sell out very quickly. So, special announcement, and I might get a shirt as well if I get a lot of people. All right, so enjoy. There's more food out there. Have a good time, and we'll see you all.